I hear the call of the stars.
G'day guys, Duckville here. Welcome to the grand final of the WCG Australia Adelaide South Australia Qualifiers, which is took place on the 23rd of July, not too long till the birthday of StarCraft 2, so keep that in mind. I hope you're having a party or something like that. But this is going to be on the GSL version of Terminus. I believe it's Terminus Re, if you're going to get all technical about it and want all the fancy little slogans on the end and all that junk. But this is going to be the grand final, of course, between TAVoices up here in the very sexy orange, down in the bottom, in the right position, I suppose. It's not the bottom right, but is the blue Protoss Bielsko, who took out Infi Spider. Voices took out GG Fight, of course. So I'm hoping that you all saw those semi-final VODs, which you should have watched before you came in here. But we're going to see these guys find it out here for the position, for the option to actually go into the Nationals Championships, National Qualifications, if you will, for the WCG Australia, to take the spot of actually representing Australia in the WCG, which is taking place in the not too distant future. But these guys, of course, on this map, it's a very interesting map for PvT. You can see some very long games at times. We've seen some very short games. It seems to favour, it sort of depends on your play style. If you play a little bit of a macro game, you can do quite nicely on this map. But of course, if you're playing a macro game and your opponent's good with the sort of micro game and or a shorter style game, you can actually run into a lot of trouble. So we'll see what happens here. Of course, we've got actually Bielsko actually scouting out in the correct direction straight away, which is very nice for him. In fact, speaking of the directions, it looks as if Voices is going to go in the incorrect direction, and I really am a bit sad for him, because he's going to go down into the left position and then down here into the southern position, I'm assuming, and will probably scout out quite late. And in fact, a Stalker or a Zealot may even be out before that SCV gets there. That's the one unfortunate part about this map, is that it's so huge. You could scout around for a while before you actually get into your opponent's base. And wow, he's actually going to take out this SCV here. Takes out that SCV with this with the Huck probe, and now the Huck probe goes to work on this SCV. May in fact get this other SCV as well. No, it doesn't. Just misses out on taking out that SCV. A little bit of a victory there for Bielsko, actually taking out that SCV. But let's see what he is up to in his base. He's got the Cybernetics core on the way. No Zealot just yet. Assuming he's going to chrono out a Stalker in just a jiffy. Here it comes. There it is. And there's the Warp Gate tech. We're going to see a chrono on something, I would assume, because he did save one chrono. Perhaps he's going to use it on something else. I'm not actually sure. But he is going to be doing a standard sort of build. No cannons, no proxies, nothing like that too fancy. Actually, just as I flick away, we actually did see him chrono. In fact, he put it on the Nexus, so he's actually going to go for a little bit more of a standard sort of play. It does look as if, actually, we have a look at the minerals there. He is about to get 400 minerals, going to go for a 1-gate expand. We're going to see a Stalker come out here and hopefully deflect the SCV before it gets too far in, and then he will actually be able to get this second Nexus up quite quickly. And now the Stalker is on the way. It's going to head out here to the... No, he's not actually going to defend here for the moment. I was a bit surprised that he's moving out that far with it. I'd actually probably rather that he sit out the front and stop the SCVs from getting in before Voices gets a look at what is going on here. In fact, the SCV comes past, does see the Nexus, is going to get inside the main base, and is going to scout out what exactly is happening. So standard sort of moves here from Bielsko, actually getting the 3 gates up. The Stalker has a quick poke up the ramp, sees that there is a bunker there with a couple of Marines ready to roll in there, and Voices meanwhile is going to do his own pretty quick expansion there with the orbital command just coming along for the natural expansion, and a couple of extra racks as well to make sure some units get up and ready to rumble. But SCV and the Sentry just sort of hanging out here. A little bit of Sentry micro there from Bielsko. Very nice. He's going to actually get that SCV, I would hope. There he goes. The Stalker doesn't actually care. Stalker's just going to walk past with its little prancing little motion that it does. Nexus is now done, and a transfer goes on for Bielsko. So he's going to be in a nice little economic position here for the moment. He's getting a little bit more from his economy. He's just a little bit ahead in the harvesters at the moment, currently sitting on the 29 probes to the 22 SCVs of Voices. So we'll see if Voices is going to actually just power away at the SCVs for the moment, or if he is going to sort of get it up a little bit and then go for some sort of attack to negate that difference in the harvesters. But he does, of course, have the mules, which are quite powerful as well, which also give quite a boost to the Terran economy, as we can see here. The mule actually delivering some minerals there, and it boosts up to around about 900. In fact, it's only just below where Bielsko actually is in his own economy. So we're just waiting to see what the actual tech path is for these guys. We do have a robo up now for Bielsko. I'm assuming he's going to go for the very standard Colossus tech off this this quick second base, and he probably will be able to get that up quite quickly there. It'll be a little bit of a determining factor if he does actually get this second gas up or not. Sorry, the third and fourth gas, in fact. Which will help determine exactly what he's going to do. But for the moment here, Voices just is going to go for that, as we said, the standard sort of the 3 racks there after the command center at the natural. So he's going to be in quite a nice spot. We do have some upgrades coming along from Voices. He is getting the stim up and running. No combat shield just yet, but perhaps he's going to save that for another day. And in fact, he does have a starport on the way. So he could switch into something with a little bit of an air presence, perhaps a couple of Banshees to harass at this natural expansion, or perhaps just starting up the medevac production, and we'll see what he's going to do. But meanwhile, we've got Bielsko just scouting across here with this observer. Going to jump across and probably see every single thing here that is going on in the Terran base. There are no turrets up just as of yet, and here he comes, the observer just coming through here, and he's going to scan out the 3 racks, in fact the 4 racks actually in total. Because, nope, I was actually wrong, it's 3 racks, isn't it? My bad. But the starport is there, of course. The observer now coming through. There is 1 turret at the front base here. This observer can actually be seen, of course, because the turret can actually see and detect further than it can actually shoot. So a little bit, got to be a bit careful there with that observer, and he does pull it back just a little bit there from Bielsko, just making sure that that observer does not die. You really don't want to lose that straight up, because, of course, once you're swinging into the Colossus production, you don't actually want to stop at all until you get that that sweet spot with the numbers, which sort of comes at around about 6 or 7, perhaps, sort of depending on what your particular style is. My particular style is 3. I like to get 3 and then just switch straight into Templar and then just lol all over people when they have too many Vikings and storm them. But I don't know, that's my way of doing it. We'll see what Bielsko is going to do. Both these guys just really holding back for the moment, just chilling, just getting some economy up and running here. Of course, we do have Bielsko just a tiny bit in front with his economy there, but he is getting up this 3rd Nexus here. He's going to have that up and running soon. They're going to actually be around about the same sort of timings for their 3rd bases. Actually, the Nexus is just a little bit behind this command center, but 2 observers out. I like this. I like having the 2 observers out to make sure you can see exactly what is going on in your opponent's base. Of course, Voices will not be able to see that observer just as of yet, with no extra turrets here in the base to scout out. But it looks as if we do have a drop here coming from Voices. He does know that there is going to be something coming along here. Drops off those Marines, and they are going to easily take care of that Nexus, and it's going to be a bit unfortunate for Bielsko, but he does have a Colossus out. This will actually really help him defend this. He's not going to cancel. Very nice work there by Bielsko to keep that up for the moment here. He's not going to get any of these medevacs just yet, but they do get away just in time, and the Nexus will survive to start the production and, of course, boost up that economy. So, extended thermal lance not done, not even on the way just yet from Bielsko. Not sure if that's a sign of that he's only going to go a couple of Colossus and then switch over into Templar or not, but he doesn't actually have a Twilight Council out just yet, so I don't think that's going to be the plan. But what can he see? He can see that there's a multitude of racks out, so he certainly should be thinking about getting that extended thermal lance out. He really does need it at the moment, and probably can see that the 3rd base is up and running. So just sort of waiting to see what the plan is here from Bielsko. We obviously know that Voices is going to do quite a heavy Triple M presence with the Vikings in the sky as well to help out with pushing away those Colossus. There are 3 Colossus out in total. They're moving across the map with the rest of the ground force here from Bielsko. May be able to take out this factory before it runs home, and a couple of Marines have decided that they can take on all of this, but they're not going to get too far at all. 1 probe in the mix here from Bielsko. He's probably going to be able to put down counter pylon. In fact, there it is, beautiful, and a second pylon as well. So he's going to be quite ready to attack here at this this front base. We're going to have quite a big battle here. As I mentioned, extended thermal lance actually only just going down now. That could have been a mistake, or it could be just part of the plan here, but I really don't think so, because Bielsko is now going to have to attack into this with the Vikings in the sky. He's going to be in a little bit of a troublesome spot there, but the Vikings are taking an absolute hammer to those Colossus, and they do go down. Not actually too bad there for Bielsko, actually doing a lot of damage to the ground forces there with the Zealots on the ground, tanking some of that damage as a fourth Colossus comes in along with this Warp in. He should be in quite a nice spot, taking out these rocks at the third base here. Should be able to march through that base and should be able to take that out quite easily, but we'll see what happens here. Bielsko sitting on a massive bank at the moment here, currently sitting on almost 1,500 minerals at the moment. Not sure how that has happened, but perhaps he doesn't have the economy just to boost this up just yet. But there are a lot of Marauders in this mix. Bielsko is going to need to be a little bit careful here. He's going to lose his Colossus, and then those Marauders will get to work, but there are not enough of them there. As we can see, Vikings dropping from the sky to take care of the Stalkers, and that is a big sign that you're actually in a really good position here as a Protoss, because it means that you've obviously got to contend with those Vikings, which really don't do too much at all. But the SCVs are doing a nice job here, boxing in these units here, and they are going to be probably able... No, then this is actually going to go the way of Bielsko, I think, here. With all these Stalkers taking out those SCVs, look at the harvester count there, 41 for Voices, and only 68 there for Bielsko. So this is going to flip over and actually just destroy everything that Voices has, and I would say that is probably going to be GG in just a moment there. A couple more Marine Marauder mixes just coming down from the ramp, just trying to get in there and do some damage, but there is the GG man, and that is all done. Game number one going straight to Bielsko there with a fantastic little, nice little macro game at the start there. Then just pulling out the hammer of justice and running inside and just smashing through those units there. Just a bit unfortunate positioning, perhaps, may have actually affected the outcome there for Voices. His he had a little bit. It was a little bit of a concave, but it was sort of on an angle, so his units actually came in at a little bit of a weird sort of position. But unfortunately, just missing out there, and we'll go into game number two between those guys. So we'll see you there in a minute. Cheers.